everyone, this is Elena, and this is the very overdue video to show you how I made this Christmas ornament using the Hero Arts My Monthly Hero Kit, actually the add-ons from way back in October. So I'm using a bunch of add-ons in the main kit. So this is one of I'll have all the supplies listed on my blog. So you'll be able to see. Right now I can't remember all the names and everything. So I'm using an 18mm, as I showed a couple of seconds ago, ornament that I picked up at the local craft store, or you can order it on Amazon. Actually, I ordered them from Amazon. I have only a couple that I got from the craft store. And I'm trying to create my scene. So I'm just pulling out a few elements from the stamp set, like the snowman house and the tree. I'm just stamping because usually when I use my Misty, I'm using the mini Misty here to stamp because I really want that black color to pop. I'm using the Hero Arts Intense Black ink. So I'm stamping it twice so I get that saturated black look. So and I'm stamping several times so I have for use in the future. So I'm just repeating everything, and then I'll stamp as well the little tree. I'm not stamping it here because I want it to be green, and that's not, it's the tree solid image, so I'm just leaving it for the end. So we have here, and now I'm positioning the tree. I'm kind of trying to save space or save paper, so I'm using the same, and I'm stamping those in the middle where I have a little bit empty space. And I'm using the green ombre ink from Hero Arts to stamp the trees, and you notice that I'm stamping it again twice. So I have a little bit more saturated look for that green tree. So there we have everything. And I'm just cleaning my stamp and so. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this to create the background, the scene. So I'll be using the dies and this row of trees from the main kit from October. And I'm again going to use that ombre ink. I'm first inking the stamp with the Versamark. So when I have better impression, kind of the Versamark when you helps to give you a kind of better solid stamped image. So I'm again stamping this couple times to have for future use, or if I make a mistake on the first one, I have a second one so I don't need to go back and do it again. So I'm doing it 4 times. So we have everything here. Next, what I'll do, I'll use my ornament to measure for the circle die cut to see which one fits perfectly inside. So I'm using the Hero Arts Circle Infinity dies. So you can see here, that row of tree fits perfectly. So I'm just trying to position everything, and here I have everything cut. That the snowy background is done with the cover-up die. The fancy die from Hero Arts, it's called Circle Confetti fancy die. And then I have all the layers cut here. Those the scene dies, they're just cut the top, not the bottom, so it's easy to create that background. So I'm positioning everything to see how it will look and where I want it to be. Kind of creating my little scene for the ornament. And then I'm putting that circle, both circles in the background. And then I'm putting the die that I used to cut the circles on top. So this way I'm gonna mark up where I need to cut using the same die, so everything fits nicely and it is where I want it to be. So we have the first layer. Next, I'm holding with my fingers the second layer. I'm gonna do the same thing, and then I'll do the same thing with the trees. So there we have everything. And then I cut those out using my Big Shot, or you can use any other die cutting machine you have. I'm just trying to see how everything looks now, and I think that looks pretty good. So next I'll add some Spectrum Noir glitter pen. I'm using the clear one, so I just add some shimmer for that kind of to look more like snow and to add a little bit more interest inside the ornament, so it's like sparkly and it will look very nice on the tree when it catches the light. So next I'm going to use some Fun Flock, and I'm using the multimedia matte multimedia adhesive from Ranger. So I had to switch the bottle, the small one, it wasn't coming out, so I went to the larger one. I'm just applying some on that edge, and then with just scrap piece of paper I'm spreading that so I don't have like little globs, and it's evenly distributed on the top. And next I'm applying that Fun Flock. I'm pressing it down with my finger, and then I'll just shake it off. And there we have that one. So I'll do the same thing on the second one. Apply that Ranger Multimedia. So now it's going a little bit faster. Then kind of spread it evenly. And again apply the Fun Flock on top. And then shake it off. And now we have all the layers. I'll just return that back in my bottle. So next I'll use again the same multimedia to adhere all the, well, the base layer, the confetti, which is the snowfall layer, onto that light blue. So I'm just trying to apply as much as possible without it kind of going over the circle, the little confettis. Next I'll apply that one. So for now I'm using the extreme adhesive or the fast fuse from Stampin' Up, which is the same thing, just different color of the packaging. So I'm adhering those, and next I'll use some foam mounting tape or dimensional squares to adhere the next two layers, so everything kind of pops up and looks nice. So I'm just adding those on the back. So I'm just positioning that tree to see how it looks there. So I'm going to adhere this tree before I adhere the last layer. Just stick it there. Make sure it's straight when it's compared to the trees in the background. And next I'll adhere that top layer. So there we have that, and then just positioning to see how it looks with the tree and the snowman. Okay, next what I'll do is I'll color quickly the snowman. I'm using the BG 10 and 11 and some of the gray tones from the cool gray tones from the Copic markers. Actually, I'm using just the gray T ones. So here's BG 11. Just adding a little bit to kind of soften that gray so it kind of looks a little bit more like snow. And then I'm kind of softening that edge using the colorless blender. So I'll do the little nose orange. And I'm sorry for this. I tried to edit this part, but my computer wasn't having it. So next I'm coloring the hat using the R colors. I'm not doing perfect job coloring, I'm just coloring it pretty quick, so I'm not boring you with all the coloring. So doing the hat, here we have, and then the little scarf. I think that this snowman is one of the cutest ones ever. So I'm doing it the same to match the hat. Okay, there we have that one. We're almost done here. Kind of adding more kind of shadows on the scarf. Then the little top, I just add a little bit gray, and then I'm going with the colorless blender. So there is the snowman. Next, I'll color the house. I'll be using the same red tones for the roof of the house. Again, I'm coloring quickly and blending the colors together. So this is almost done here. Again, I'm adding a little bit more shadows, kind of blending everything together. And again with the lightest one at the end. So we have that. Next I'll go with I'm adding some BG11 on the edges, then kind of softening up BG11, BG10, and colorless blender. I'm using the same colors for the windows. So there we have that. And next I'll color the body of the house. Actually, I'll color the door. I'm using some of the E's, E15, E13, and E18. So there's the house. Then I'm using G29 to color the little wreath in the middle of the door. And then the smoke that's coming out of the house. So next I remember that I forgot to color that strip in the middle of the head of the snowman. So I'm going back and coloring with the pink, RV14 and RV11. So the snowman now is completely done. It looks pretty cute. So next I'll just color the house. I'm using 3 Copic markers to do that. Again, starting the same way and then adding first the darkest, then the medium shade, then the lightest one, and blending everything together. So I'm just adding a little bit darker again and blending everything in. So next I touched my Copic marker to the base here, so it left a yellow mark. So I recut that layer and added again the Fun Flock and the sparkly shimmer pen, the Spectrum Noir clear one. So next I'll just use some adhesive to adhere the snowman and the house onto my top layer there. Actually, for the snowman I'm using dimensionals, so it kind of pops up and it looks like it's in front of the house. So next I'm adhering it to a little bit larger layer. This is scalloped circle one, and then I'm gonna use some artificial snow to put in the middle of the ornament, and then I apply some of the matte medium onto the edges of the ornament. So I'm trying to be careful here just to apply that in the edge. So I kind of had a hard time here to get the adhesive flowing. Now once it starts, it goes pretty okay. So there we have that one all around, and I'll just adhere it on top of the ornament, making sure that that little notch where it's hanging, it's kind of in line with my scene, so the scene doesn't look crooked when you adhere it to your add it to your tree. So next I'm adding another layer there. I'm gonna add some coins. I'm adding some pennies, so it adds some weight to that ornament, so when you attach it to your tree, when you hang it on your tree, it has some weight and goes down instead of kind of looking flimsy and kind of wiggling around. So I'm just adhering to the bottom so that the gravity pulls down the ornament when it's hanged on the tree. And then I added some mounting tape to add another layer to cover those pennies. So next I'm adding some twine that's red to hang the ornament, and I'll just add a little bow on top to finish up. I'm just adjusting that one and making sure it fits nicely onto the ornament. And I'll just use a glue dot to adhere that bow on the top of the ornament. Just trim off the edges of the ribbon. There we go. And there's our ornament. Thanks for watching and see you soon in another video. Don't forget to subscribe to my blog and my YouTube channel so you get all the updates. Bye!